said in front of me, he said, "You're better than all those other nines. You're going to wear number nines." So that's how I got number 9.
Yep.
I didn't care what number I had, but thank you, Gunto.
Now we know the rest of the story. All right.
So now you know the truth.
Yes, we do. I think the question was about Gordie Howe, but I liked your answer. 88. Is that the Lindros connection? Is that why you went to? No. Did you go to the lumberyard too?
0 for 2, Pat.
All right. Why is 88?
So I was born in 1988. Simple answer, but actually, growing up, I wore a bunch of different variety of numbers. Actually, number 9 was one of my favorite numbers growing up. But I went to play in the OHL for the London Knights, and I wanted number 27. A number I wore previously. It was my grandpa's favorite number, and one of the defensemen on the team had number 27, so couldn't get that number. So they said, you know what, the 2 kids that signed previous to you are 1990 birth dates and 1989 birth dates, so they're wearing number 90 and 89, so we think it'd be cool if you wore 88. So I said, you know what, okay, I'll wear 88, and just kind of stuck. I can't really envision myself wearing anything else nowadays, but 88 worked out pretty well.
I say it did. Tony, Pierre, Steve, any superstitions that since we're on this numbers topic here, any superstitions that you had during your playing days, Steve?
No, just my first year when I came to training camp, I had number 56. My second year when I came to training camp, they gave me number 54. So I improved 2 spots.
That's good.
The only superstition I have, I love to chew gum when I played hockey. So I'd always have a cup full of gum in my stall, and I did not like it when people messed around with my gum.
Pierre, how'd you get to number 3?
Well, as you know, I'm getting older, and I want to know if I could use that plywood, to help it. And I don't know what it did for him anyway, but I don't need it yet. Talking about superstition, I acquired one probably after my 3rd or 4th year in the league, maybe the 5th year. You remember we used to line up and first go for a skate, and the players the left-handers would shoot from the left side to a blue line, and people would skate around and stuff like that. And all of a sudden the buzzer would go, and then you go downstairs. Well, one time I shot the puck, and the buzzer went. And guess what? It was the worst game I ever had. So from then on, I made sure that I never shot the last puck at the goaltender or even touched the puck before the buzzer. That was a no-no for me. But anyway, guys, it's been great to see a lot of my fans here. It's great to stand here and sit here with great players, and I really enjoyed Chicago.
As we wind down the panel, we're going to open up the questions that you guys have submitted, and one of them came here. It says, on the last panel, Duncan Keith said defensemen were the smartest players on the ice. Pierre, you're excluded from this. Thoughts on that statement?
Oh man, you're putting me in a tough position up here. You know what? I think I'm kind of shy away from that question. I'll hand it over to Bobby. I'll let Bobby answer that one.
was the question again?
It's if you went to the lumber yard. No, it's Duncan said defensemen are the smartest players on the ice. Do you agree?
Duncan
Duncan
said what?
That defensemen are the smartest players on the ice. Defensemen. Do you?
Oh, without doubt.
Okay.
If I'm putting a team together, the first people that I want defensemen with good heads and good hearts. Then I want a good goaltender. Then I want a good, great centerman, because anyone can be a winner. Patrick? All we need is someone to hang on that biscuit until we got there. And when I played, I used to let the play go up the ice, and then I'd come from behind with speed. And I needed a big, strong centerman that could control the puck inside their blue line until I got there. And just think about it. Everyone is standing still, and I'm going at high speeds. Why shouldn't I be able to go around them and blitz it? That's a goaltender. You have to have someone that can control the puck. And I wish more players today would come from behind with speed instead of all going up the ice at one time like this. Why do you think this great player and his Russian teammate did so well and looked so great out there? Do you know why? Because they understand one another and they play off one another. You can ask Patrick. When he's out there with that little Brit man, when he's out there with him, that's who he looks for. I would too. And I'd want to get it back too. That's why Pierre and I played so well together. I told you earlier, I didn't give him the puck to get an assist. As my dad would say, Robert, anyone can get an assist. It's that guy that puts the biscuit in the basket. And that's what my job was. That's what his job is.
On the topic of your line mates, we don't talk enough about Artem Anisimov. But from your vantage point, look, you play with a lot of centermen. What did Anisimov bring to that line that allowed you and Panarin to have such big offensive years?
Yeah, I think a lot. He's such a good two-way centerman, wins face-offs. It's funny that Bobby mentions that he used to like to come behind. That's what myself and what's the Russian's name that I play with? Panarin, the Breadman, Panarin, whatever it is. That's what we like to do too. We like to kind of have one guy come up the ice, whether it's in the neutral zone, defensive zone, offensive zone, whatever it may be, and the other guy come behind him, try to get some speed, try to throw the defense off one way and come back the other way. So. Throughout my whole career, that was something I was always kind of doing by myself, where I would come behind and, maybe I would have the dunks take up the puck and drop it to me, and I'd take it in with speed, but I'd always be by myself. And, when you add someone that can come up the ice with you with speed, it makes it so much easier, and he's so good at it too, where he can get through traffic or make a pass around a check and then continue our speed on into the offensive zone. And I think we might have scored maybe 5 or 6 power play goals this year where dunks would come up, he'd drop it to me, and then I would send it over to Panarin where he was flying in, and then I would try and take off to the net too. So it's become a pretty effective breakout for us. and it's a part of the game that no one really utilizes anymore because, like Bobby said, everything's kind of straight ahead. But that's what Neesmith is good at. He's good at that straight ahead game. He can win faceoffs, like I said, but he's so good at battling for the puck, getting back those loose pucks where we can get the puck in our hands, make the next play. And sometimes, I said this before too, you kind of feel bad because, myself and Panarin would have, 2, 3, 4 points in a game, and Neesmith wouldn't have anything. And he would be the main reason that we would score those goals because he'd battle for the puck or be standing in front and create a screen. So you just kind of have to tell him to hang with it. He'd get one, and he'd eventually get his. And I think he had around 25 goals this year. So, throughout my career, I've had plenty of centers, plenty of different line mates. And this was one year that it was consistent the whole season. And, it was awesome to kind of know what to expect every night from those guys and know what you're getting into every game and how you wanted to play the game.
This next question comes from the audience to Tony, and it's, Tony, what advice do you have for Patrick Kane on enjoying and appreciating what he has done and won this year?
Well, I'd like to say, what, he's going to appreciate this as time that goes by because he had the most phenomenal year that I can ever remember a forward having. Just outstanding. But in the other case now, Artisov there, I think that you guys were using him as a decoy a lot because he was the cover-up guy, and you carried the puck. I mean, unbelievable. And he was smart enough to back you up all the time and break to the net when he had to, so that made you more effective. And then the other guy was Panarin, was just floating around and bang, you had puck on his stick. You know where he was going to be without looking. And that's why it worked so well together. And your centerman was unselfish, came back and covered a lot for you guys, and that made the perfect line. Don't you think?
They did.
It was good this year. Let's keep it next year.
That's what I saw. You guys worked so well together and very unselfish. That's what I liked about it.
Next question goes to Tony and Pierre. What went through your mind when Phil Esposito won the Art Ross Trophy?
Can I tell you?
Sure. Sure, Tony.
The worst trade in the history of the game. Traded Phil Esposito, Kenny Hodge, Freddie Stanford, to the Boston Bruins for search and destroy Marat, seek and eliminate. Jack Norris, a goaltender whom we needed like we needed 4 rear ends. And pitiful Pitt Martin. Now, it ruined our team and made their team. That's what I think about when he won the scoring challenge. And these people are supposed to be hockey people? Builders? Are you kidding me?
Well, Bobby said a pretty big mouthful there. But the only thing I can say, I remember the trade and I was kind of disappointed. I really was happy for Freddie Stanfield because he kept asking me, as a captain, and kept asking me to go upstairs and talk to Tommy Hyman. He wanted to play more. He asked me 4 or 5 times. Finally, I had to tell him he was a Fort citizen. That they better, just play when they ask you to play. But I was happy for him because he got to play with Bobby Orr at a point, got a lot of points. But it really affected our team, losing these great players. And I think Phil went on to have a great career there. And the thing that I remember about the trade is, like Bobby says, when we got Gilles Marat, built like a tank, And the first practice we had, he hit Dennis Hall and separated his shoulder.